In the dead of the night, when the world is fast asleep, there are moments when we are awakened from our slumber by a sudden sense of unease, or the feeling of being watched. But what happens when this feeling is not just a fleeting sensation, but an experience that leaves us shaken to our core? What if we were to find ourselves face to face with the unimaginable, witnessing apparitions that defy the boundaries of the mortal realm? These terrifying tales will leave you questioning the very nature of reality and the boundaries between the living and the dead. So prepare yourself for an evening filled with fear and wonder as we delve into these chilling stories that will haunt your nightmares. Welcome back, I'm here, and tonight, we're going to be taking a journey into the darkest corners of the human psyche, where we will be exploring some of the scariest things ever witnessed by people who are still alive today. If you are scared easily, then maybe you should click away now. But if you want to test your limits, then stay tuned, because I am about to share with you some of the most frightening stories that will make you question everything you know about the world around you. From encounters with ghosts and demons to experiences of the unknown, these stories are sure to send shivers down your spine and leave you questioning the very nature of reality. So sit tight and brace yourself for an evening of pure terror as we delve into these terrifying tales that will leave you traumatized and begging for mercy. The night I saw her standing in my room, I never believed in ghosts until it happened to me. One night, when I was alone in my room, I saw a ghost standing right in front of me. I couldn't believe my eyes. I thought it was a dream, but it felt so real. It was one of the scariest experiences of my life. I'm not sure if anyone else has ever experienced something like this, but I would love to hear about it in the comments below. It was around 3 in the morning when I woke up with the feeling of being watched. The silence in the house was absolute, but something in the air felt heavy, almost suffocating. When I opened my eyes, I noticed a female figure standing next to my bed. She was motionless, staring at me. I couldn't see her face, but I could feel her eyes boring into mine. I don't remember screaming. I think I tried to, but no sound came out. The only sound was the pounding of my heart in my ears. She didn't move or speak, just kept staring at me. It was as if she was trying to penetrate my mind, to reach inside and pull something out. I wanted to look away, but I couldn't. My eyes were locked on hers. It was like a magnet. Then she began to walk towards me. Still, she didn't speak or make any sound. The floorboards creaked under her weight, and each step she took sent a shiver down my spine. As she got closer, I could see that she was wearing a long white dress that flowed around her ankles. Her hair was long and dark, and covered her face partially. I could feel the air growing colder around her, and the hairs on my arms stood on end. I tried to call out for help, but no sound came out of my mouth. It was like a thick blanket had been placed over my vocal cords, muffling any sound I tried to make. When she was close enough, I could see that her face was pale, almost translucent. Her eyes were sunken deep into their sockets, and it looked like black tears were streaming down her cheeks. She reached out a hand towards me, and I flinched. I wanted to slap her away, but my arm felt heavy and sluggish like lead. It wasn't until that moment that I realized I couldn't move. I was frozen with fear. Then she leaned over me, her face inches from mine. I could feel her hot breath on my skin and smell the faint scent of decay on her body. It was like the stench of a rotting corpse. Panic surged through me, and I struggled against the paralysis that held me in its grip. I needed to get away, to escape the clutches of the ghostly figure before it was too late. But as if sensing my desperation, she pressed her lips against my ear and whispered in a voice that sounded like sandpaper scraping down a chalkboard. "I want you to suffer." Her voice was cold, devoid of any emotion, like a robot programmed to inflict pain. "I want you to suffer." I felt a sharp pain in my chest, and a searing heat spread through my entire body. It was like a burning fire had been lit within my bones. I screamed, a primal, desperate sound that echoed through the silent house. Suddenly, the hallway lights turned on, flooding my room with a bright, harsh light. I watched in horror as the figure recoiled, her form flickering like a candle flame in the wind. For a moment, she hesitated, her eyes wide with surprise. Then, just as quickly as she had appeared, she vanished, leaving me alone in the darkness once again. I sat there, paralyzed with fear, my heart pounding against my ribs like a trapped bird. It took me a moment to realize that I was still alive, that the ghastly specter had not claimed me as its own. But even as relief washed over me, it was tinged with a deep sense of dread. I knew that I had just witnessed something truly terrifying, something that would forever change the way I viewed the world around me. From that night forward, my room became a place of torment rather than solace. The walls seemed to close in on me, the shadows deepening and taking on sinister shapes. Every creak of the house, every whisper of the wind outside my window made me jump, my senses on high alert for any sign of the ghostly visitor's return. I found myself constantly scanning the darkness, searching for any indication of her presence. Sleep became a distant memory, replaced by restless nights spent tossing and turning, my mind racing with terrifying thoughts. I tried everything to banish the haunting specter from my thoughts, distracting myself with work or immersing myself in the company of others. But no matter what I did, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched, that I was not alone in my room. Time passed, but the haunting never faded. The memory of the ghostly figure burned itself into my mind, a constant reminder of the terror I had experienced. And still to this day, years after that fateful night, I cannot bring myself to spend the night in that room alone. The mere thought of it sends chills down my spine, and I find myself inexplicably drawn to keep my door open, hoping to catch any sign of movement. In the darkness, always on the lookout for any indication that I am not alone. The experience left me shattered, my innocence lost, and my trust in the world around me broken. I am forever changed by the encounter, haunted by the whispers of the past, and the knowledge that there are forces beyond my understanding that lurk in the shadows, waiting to strike. If you want to hear more scary stories, then check out these videos right here. And please do subscribe to the channel and turn notifications on, so that you don't miss any more videos. Thank you for watching.